Good news, everybody. Renu's coming. The stream can finally start.
Huh?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm very glad I made this stream starting soon screen. I got a
It's
lot of
very
use
cute.
out of it today. Thank you.
Working hard.
Working hard. Or hardly working. Yeah, I have dinner on the way, but there's nothing stopping us from starting this game. I
Game.
suppose. Game.
Oh my gosh, we're switching.
Switching, swatchings.
We swatching.
I guess we can start with this game. Ah, who's that? Ah, who's that? Who's them? Who's thems?
Who is they?
Who is these? It's mad hilarious that she's just eating a burger, but her model's wrapping her hand around the air. Yes, it's so. That video is so good. I love that video so much.
Maybe. Never writes you letters.
Ugh. How did I get into this mess?
Left one day, never came back.
Why? Why did I do that? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! I hear Cole in the background.
Cole is lamenting how you went out for milk one day and never came back home.
I didn't. Listen, I do that to a lot of people, it turns out. I didn't do it! April 11th, 9:40 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3.
Phew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning.
Oh, Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. Oh, it's a joke.
What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me. I'm relaxed.
Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer.
I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today.
Oh, that's right. This is the first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, whatever you fear, my dear, I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service.
Actually, this is my second time in court.
Oh, still, you surprised me, what with your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. Quite forcefully, too.
I just found out yesterday about the case, I mean.
Why, I think you've already learned all the relevant facts.
Well, about that. You see, I mean, of course I have, I think.
Oh, dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see a poor young man in that pink sweater over there. That's our client.
Well, you're up, Renu.
Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia.
Who's this dorko?
I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got. I should wear a mask for this part. Yep, it'll be fine. No problem. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Right? Actually, it's right. Like, the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for.
There's Corona out here.
Oh my god, the mouth animating is just... My doc says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says.
Hear that, everybody? Be kind to others.
Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please, let go of my shirt! That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client, and for myself.
April 11th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Oh, is that Marvin Grossberg? He's famous!
Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
My man! The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, or was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you?
What kind of emergency is he having right next to you?
Yes. Well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It will all be over soon.
What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me?
Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology.
It sounds like he was a very bright young man.
Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body and the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police.
Always gotta be murder. That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed.
What, you think we would take a civil case?
Yeah.
Then we'd have to actually follow rules.
Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence.
Crime photo 1 out of your report record.
By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo.
There are other kinds of criminal cases. I guess you're right.
Maybe.
Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. And the truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death.
An unusual death.
What do you mean, Mr. Payne?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question.
Huh?
A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a little.
Oh,
I am
don't
a
say that.
genteel man, if you will.
A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of.
A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on.
Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Oh, sounds like the doggo's up to something.
Please say you know at least as much.
It's the same reason there are not a lot of cop shows about theft or extortion. Offenses against the person are just rich in drama. It's true. I mean, Phoenix Wright is barely a legal drama, like, at all. It's just a detective drama with a legal sort of veneer over it.
You found the paper towel roll.
Oh no!
I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file.
This is why you don't switch your lawyer, like, the day before the trial.
My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up.
I did not need to know that.
We all needed to know that.
I guess this takes place like a decade or so. No, not even this is like 2 or 3 years before the first game, I guess. Man, Mr. Grossberg, you're a big lawyer man, like a big successful lawyer man. Get a bidet.
Now, see here. The details of the case were filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? You've played 2 other Ace Attorney games, right?
Right?
Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing tab.
All the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear.
Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let the prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just press tab here.
Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death?
Hypothermia, just right on the spot.
Yep.
According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution.
You can't get over how often it feels like Phoenix has been accused of murder. Listen, everybody has to be accused of murder at least once, like minimum once, usually on average about twice.
Uh-huh.
Electrocution? But how could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some kind of a new, super powerful stun gun, perhaps?
The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue.
Oh, what's that?
Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
Bad blood?
What do you mean?
Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this.
I really don't like this guy's smug attitude.
That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know.
Do they? Do they call him that? They're constantly either in mortal danger or under threat of being framed. Yeah, you would think.
Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant?
Ah, I see.
Ah.
And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence.
Evidence? What's that?
Don't worry, I'm the tutorial character today. In time, you will take my mantle. No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need, and then shove it in old Greybeard's face.
Girlsburg, all right. You got something as the judge? Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face.
Mr. Grossberg, I can hear you.
I'm right here.
Try to set a better example for the young lady.
Mia, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with tab, so be sure to go over it all.
Now then, let's see what you've got for this old Greybeard. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim?
Winston Payne. Take that.
The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here.
Dahlia Hawthorne, is it?
Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story.
Wow, that's fucked up, man.
That's some tea?
Oh, he's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants.
Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness.
I'm beginning to think that maybe the caliber of defense attorney in this country is just so abysmal is the reason the conviction rate is so high.
You think so?
If Marvin Grossberg looks at Mr. Winston Payne and is like, man, this guy fucks. Like, we got some issues.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay.
It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection.
This is also, like, a terrible thing to do as the prosecution, I'm pretty sure.
Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand.
I think it's pretty normal for the prosecution to cross-examine the defendant, right? If the defendant even allows themselves to be cross-examined, I mean, to be put on the witness stand.
Maybe.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect?
No, he means, what did you do before you were arrested?
Oh, achoo! I was a university student.
Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swift.
But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I tell you I was...
Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his coronavirus to the rest of us?
I'm well over the age of 65.
I'm
a high-risk category.
It seems that the witness has something he wants to say.
Well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Right away, Your Honor.
The victim and
I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I'd never go talk to that stuck-up British wannabe.
I see. So you hardly knew the victim.
Right, like I said, I'm not a killer.
Phew.
It looks like the judge understands.
being naive, you know. Too naive.
Huh?
It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady.
I think it's like his pompadour that gives him power, and so when he lost it,
I think,
you know.
yeah, you're probably right. You know
And
what?
that would
Maybe he's a veteran. Maybe he's like he's a fearsome prosecutor with a tight record. But then he loses his pompadour and suddenly he's just like,
I'm a washed-up has-been. Who am I without my pompadour?
like Samson, just loses his hair, he's gone. All his power.
I'm melting.
And that would be?
This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination.
Cross-examination?
He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions.
Actually, she doesn't have to if she doesn't want to.
I was gonna say, we've definitely
Contradictions.
chosen not to.
Mm-hmm.
If a witness is lying, their statements will conflict with the court record.
But Mr. Wright is my client.
Even if he is your client in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see.
What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now? That there was a lie? A contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay. Please, Mr. Wright. Tell me you haven't been lying.
I mean, not on purpose. Probably.
Ooh, 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 ooh. You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
Think
Look
emoji.
into his pink sweater.
Look at his pink pea sweater.
Mm-hmm. Show him your attorney's badge so he tells the truth.
Listen, you are bound by the power of the attorney's badge.
Yeah.
Hold it!
When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway.
Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence.
Achoo! 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 Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence! We bumped into each other by accident! A coincidence, huh? You say you found the body? So who called the police? Huh?
Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police.
Other students?
That's correct. They were witnesses.
Witness.
Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock.
Ooh.
Oh, he said shock. I get it. It's a pun.
What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's pretty true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body.
Not as shocked as Doug Swallow.
Eh. But I... So, you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right! Well, no. That is... I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? Now see here,
you can't avoid answering the question by spreading your nasty germs all over my courtroom.
Disgusting bailiff! Get this man some bleach.
Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't you tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly.
Who is this Dolly person?
Ah, yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, I see. Ah, young love, so bittersweet.
But that's all I knew about him. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right! I mean, why would I even? But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright? No! It wasn't me! I'm not a killer, I swear!
This man becomes a lawyer.
He defends people in the future. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe?
Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt.
Jesus.
Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true. Cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night.
May I ask you something, Miss Fay?
Yes, Your Honor. What is it now?
Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow?
The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag.
Oh, I see. So you mean like the stars and stripes in this proud land we call America that we all live in right now?
For sure,
right?
Definitely. As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me.
Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now?
Nothing like a jelly-filled donut. Mia, there's a contradiction here.
Mr. Grossberg?
Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean.
Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully.
Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point on?
1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself.
You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia.
I'll be fine. I know what I have to do.
Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you prevent some definitive proof.
Okay, Mia. One more time from the very beginning of his testimony.
Aha.
Hey. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back.
Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me.
Oh, look at it.
Please forgive me.
Did that grown man start crying?
Yeah, you've let our client cry.
Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong.
That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime.
Oh. Oh, did I go too far?
By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it?
Yeah, I took some, but
Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X?
yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X?
Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now?
Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case?
Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Mr. Payne is on his A game, dog.
He's pouncing.
Huh?
Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look at another photo from the crime scene.
What's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X.
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to, especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it.
What?
Bro.
Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright.
Man, Winston Payne Fox, dude.
Yeah, his pop is going. Order! Order in the court.
Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record.
Crime photo 2 added to the court record. Cold Killer X added to the court record.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Broken?
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this?
This is really bad.
Oh my buttocks. More hemorrhoids.
Please tell us more.
Please tell us more about your hemorrhoids.
The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. Sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright. Don't tell any more lies.
What really happened?
Had you ever met the victim before then?
No, never. But, that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is, I've forgotten already. It's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart.
What was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden.
My hemorrhoids.
Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. I mean, look at him, that alpha male body.
So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see.
Or was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45?
Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU.
Full Metal Alchemist.
An alchemist? I see. I gotta admit, he was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
Wow. If Doug Swallow got Dr. Stoned, he would survive.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details? So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45?
Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much.
Experiments?
Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something.
Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway.
Witness, let's go on with your testimony.
So what was it you were talking about?
You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime.
Hang out again sometime. I wish that were true.
Oh, we're hydrating. Hang on, I need the hydration.
Oh! Dio!
I forgot about the hydration.
Gotta hydrate against the Rona.
Let's see. Nice barley tea. I like ideas calling you out specifically. The bird hydrates too.
I hydrated, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna be right back actually. Because dinner is here and I'm hungry. I'll be back. Give me 5 minutes.
Bye.
I'm back. Is Renu not back?
Back?
Welcome back.
We back.
I've got it.
Rah.
It was a strategic move to make Renu voice 90% of the characters in this trial.
Yeah, you know, I felt that. So you say you went back.
The time I've lost in wooing, in watching and pursuing the light that lies in woman's eyes, has been my heart's undoing. The wisdom oft has sought me. I scorned the lore she brought me. My only books were woman's looks, and folly is all they've taught me. Ain't that fucked up?
Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Oh my god. We gotta double hydrate for that performance.
Okay. Did you read this one? I don't remember. What was you eating?
Oh, we're hydrating again.
Again, oh my god. Oh my god.
Good night, Brandon. Thanks for coming.
Oh, good night, Brandon. Thanks for hanging out.
Do the justice thing. Well, we'll try.
We doing it. Phoenix Wright is guilty.
Phoenix Wright is sus as fuck.
Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? Oh, I thought maybe we could make up. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common.
Yeah, look at this rube.
So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals. So I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure.
I don't know, I just want to know.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Mmm. Her mini omelets are magically delicious.
Ow! Why did you punch me in the jaw?
Oh! I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden.
God damn, Mia. Well, Mia,
I don't know.
Mia's here like, I can't let this fine specimen of a man get away like this.
Just makes me want to snap someone in half. I can't seem to find any contradictions.
The boy isn't exactly what I'd call a natural born liar, you know. But still, we can't have him continue to sprout nonsense.
I know. But what can I do?
Well, I'm certain he must still be hiding something. Information. Right now, it's information we need more than anything else.
What? Oh.
Let's ask him about the pharmacology department.
I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department.
I'm really interested in taking classes.
Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. I'm just an art student. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous.
Pretty sure if you touched one, you would die instantly.
Mm-hmm. They use non-standard voltages, so
Oh
there
my
are
God.
high-voltage cables everywhere.
And they just let you do that?
Uh-huh. We're all very safe. No one's died until now. High-voltage cables.
Well, there was that lawsuit a couple of years ago.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I think Mr. Grossberg over there was the one who filed it.
No comment.
My hemorrhoids. Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Hi, Magpie.
Magpie. Yes, we've gone
sure
back in
did.
time. We started the third game, and it starts us a couple years before the first game starts.
We discovered time travel technology.
Mhm.
I think it's Acorn, but I'm not sure. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
Mia's definitely the reason this guy doesn't have a fucking pompadour anymore.
she's gonna
She's
be
like,
the one that
You,
nips it off.
me, after this, I'm gonna rip that shit off.
Yeah, she sure is.
It's on site, Mr. Payne.
On site. However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor.
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is, you are correct, Your Honor.
So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, We should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence.
Did you find Chestnut? Of course I know that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that.
Like a mentor, like a mentee.
Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a weapon, a murder weapon here. Not that sparkly thing hanging above the victim. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail.
Too bad time travel can't fix the judge.
Oh my god. Bing. Well, naturally, it's right here.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. You to me, I thought you were a star law student. Everyone has humble beginnings.
Actually, I think just the quality of lawyers in this country is abysmal. Marvin Grossberg was like,
Mr. Payne! Oh, what a giga chad that Mr. Winston Payne! Put many a rookie lawyer in their grave!
The rookie killer.
The rookie killer, it's him!
The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable.
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Now. The victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant.
Achoo!
sorry, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
That much is certainly true. I believe every word from that pompadour.
The pompadour compels me.
And that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you know, leather holds fingerprints quite well.
You mean?
Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Wait, can it make sense?
The pompadour's bounce works like hypnosis. And that's how he wins.
It's like an anglerfish.
Order! 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 That's enough! I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination.
Stick a fork in us, we're done.
Mr. Grossberg?
My hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. Look at him. His muscular physique, his killing intent in his eyeballs, his spiky hair.
No, you're wrong. You and your hemorrhoids. Mr. Wright is innocent.
But my hemorrhoids speak to me, Mia.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
I believe in Mr. Winston Payne's pompadour.
You know how much I love premature convictions. At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye?
Thanks,
Gwen!
Lisa, Gwen.
Wow! Is this what you want, Mr. Wright?
His spiky hair is a murder weapon in its own right. I get it? Whoa.
You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you
Wow,
what
thanks,
really
Sean.
happened, then I'd be... Wow, shine! It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
Hey, thanks, Eisen.
Whoa! Eisen! I think everyone's resubbing because they know that Phoenix is guilty.
No, look at him. Look at him. He's established his Chad stance. Wow, we hit a hype train. Huge.
Big.
Big. Aizen's literally sitting right behind me.
What?
Yeah. He's vaguely local.
Oh, really?
Amazing. Yeah.
Hi, Eisen.
I mean, he's moving, so. And he says hi.
No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. Eisen knows that Phoenix is guilty too.
We've already established the defendant's guilt. And there's no further need for him to say anything.
Phoenix is gonna mask off, he sure is.
Yep.
Well, wait a moment. Mr. Wright. Boy better get his shots in.
Right?
I'll tell you what really happened.
But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further.
I'll infect you if you don't let me talk. I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead.
That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore.
Hey, it's none of your business.
I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news.
You're lying.
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl.
Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Bro, he killed that man.
That man is dead.
What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Please. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. You
I
just
don't
admitted to
believe in you.
murder. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. I didn't need that visual. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried.
Hashtag lines that aged well.
So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead.
Wow.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock. And that, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
He can barely remember evidence law, but that's in the future. There's no reason for him to know it now.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. It's a giant sparkler. Yeah, unlike the judge. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Unlike the judge.
This is Mia Fey's second court case ever.
She should still know evidence law. Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. Meow!
Yeah.
If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Look at his Ikemen face.
Look at him, Ikemen.
So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Fey, you heard him yourself. Oh boy. You're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I just... Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy.
I went apeshit.
Ah!
Wow.
I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest, you know, and he fell.
I gave him a
I
light,
didn't get back
gentle tap on the chest, and then I straddled him and beat the shit out of him.
up.
I just pummeled him like it was a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like, rush. Ba, 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 ba.
And when you did that, there were no severed cables anywhere to be seen.
No, even when I summoned my Star Platinum stand.
Right. There was nothing like that at all.
But is it possible that you merely overlooked it?
Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt. I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony. Witness.
Witness?
Witness. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was.
Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been? Yes? Could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed it, he dropped the umbrella he was holding.
Phoenix, you pushed that guy really hard.
I know, that's not a gentle, light shove. He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Dude, he's dead!
Oh my god! Savage!
You were being accused of his murder!
He was weak, so I put him out of his misery.
Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. You see?
SMH.
Miss Faye? What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Well... This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital.
Is it gay to hit the woe to Regina Spector? Yes.
I want to officially have it entered into the testimony.
Ha! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy liar.
Abby Badman.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. The cheap and flimsy and frail umbrella. So, Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella, and you are certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself.
What do you steal this guy's umbrella?
You were gonna steal it after shoving him?
He's like a schoolyard bully. Oh my god.
God! The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah. You see, I was wearing the sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love.
Oh, my stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia.
I'm so sorry. Continue on with your testimony, witness.
The judge is just sitting by and watching as Mia beats the shit out of Marvin Grossberg.
Borrowing. After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious.
You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? My.
Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later.
Once my Hulk rage faded,
Left him on the ground.
right? Phoenix possession is 9/10 of the law, right?
At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Nope. Nobody.
Jeez, that stupid cough possibly sounded any phonier. Oh wait, that was Mia.
That's fine.
In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer.
Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, but I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever.
Yes, sir. Right now, I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions.
Let's see. He fell on top of his cheap umbrella.
Cheapo
Jeez.
umbrella.
Well, he's definitely not on top of his umbrella here.
Yes. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on. If I had mentioned that,
People would think I was a jerk.
I would have been able to counter the prosecution. Oh God, the prosecution's arguments earlier.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
Yeah, let's get that turnabout. No! Damn, was that dull Winston Payne being pushed back?
The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want it presented as evidence immediately.
Umbrella added to the court record.
But the umbrella could have simply been blown here by the wind.
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind.
But
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Phoenix's testimony added to the court record.
Oh, done, Mia!
Ah!
Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess. You have another witness.
Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne. You don't mean Dolly.
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Well,
Ooh! Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious.
Mia, what do you mean by that?
Mia. I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Alright, well then why don't we take our own 5-minute recess?
Woo!
I'll be right back. Yes, Phoenix said I love her. When he was but a college art student. I like how you get to see all the behind the scenes.
It's really cool. That's all. I was like Legolas, but not. I guess that's why they made pots. You don't want pots. Yeah, I'm not big on Hawkeye either, but I think he's supposed to be conventional. What? I just got like the freaking little.
That's right. A phoenix can still love.
Oh.
Okay. Why don't we get back into it? Boop. April 11th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's all right. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I could start to relax then, huh?
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts.
But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Oh, what do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dahlia and I We first met about 8 months ago.
8 years ago. Jesus.
That would be a lot more substantial.
Right.
Right here in this very courthouse.
Geez, speaking of, how old is Phoenix Wright is 21 years old. He's 23 at the start of the first game, so he's not even that much younger.
Yeah. Oh my god, look at him. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, wait, you're an art student studying to be a lawyer on the side.
Doesn't this just explain everything? It really does.
Yeah, on the side.
Lawyering is my side business.
Oh my god.
I chose 2 different professions that will not pay me a single dime.
One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this.
So she gave it to you as a present, I see.
This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet.
Ah, I see. The presenting evidence tendency started way earlier. Look at my badge!
I want to share my happiness and my badge with the whole world.
Can we also talk about how Phoenix Wright chose the 2 of the most time-intensive majors?
Uh-huh.
Dahlia's present borrowed from Phoenix Wright.
Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Ow, ow, ow. God. I'm being attacked by a kitten.
No, kitty.
Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. Why haven't you given it back?
By the way, Mr. Wright. The day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne, 8 months ago. It wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder at the courthouse. But murder?
Is it April 27th? Today? No, no, it is not.
What are you reading there? Let me see that. I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took a keen interest in this case. You believe there's some connection between these 2 cases, am I correct?
Me is so good at conspiracies. Newspaper clipping added to the court record.
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself.
There's so much murder in this world. I mean, there's a lot of murder in our world.
Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving.
Not as much as the Detective Conan world. God, you're so right.
My God, everywhere they turn.
The Detective Conan world is saturated with murder. Every
Every
step
time
you
they
take.
go on vacation, every time they walk down the street.
Well, it's like, they have the ridiculous condensed timeline too, where no time has passed. So they're they're encountering a rate of 4 murders a day.
Right.
That Detective Conan is truly the lethalist of worlds.
I guess so. That recess sure seems longer than 20 minutes, though.
I wonder what's going on. To be continued.
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, beep, beep. We got a new jingle. Lethalists, student of legalist. April 11th, 12:13 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Well, back at it again.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness.
This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand.
You better voice her.
I am. I'm well prepared for it.
What's with this stiff silence?
In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses.
Detective Conan's murder rate caused the legal reforms that created the Ace Attorney law system. That's my headcanon, personally.
It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word.
I'm not very good at that.
But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow
Oh
of
my.
complete sincerity. Look at those butterflies.
I believe you wholeheartedly.
I can't believe he actually said that.
Is he allowed to say that?
No.
Now then, witness, could you please state your full name?
Don't worry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous.
Very uncanny Fae vibes? Yeah, for sure.
If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size with my Nipponese katana.
And I will bash them in the head with my gavel.
And my axe.
I love how they look straight at me when they say that.
Thank you for calming my nerves. You're all so nice. I almost feel right at home.
Oh, no, not at all.
It was nothing. Oh.
If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation?
Mia's so done with this courtroom. She's like, I've only been here twice now. This blows. My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. All literature.
Lit majors.
I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine.
No, the honor is all mine.
I'm your honor.
I'm the honor. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Damn right. Sir?
Is there something I can help you with?
You just go on and say whatever is on your mind.
I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes, yes. I can see why you'd say that.
She's going to be a tough witness, all right. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger.
The law system in this world is worthless.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony.
Burn it all down.
Let's hear what you have witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please.
planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie. They were talking
Stop
behind
it.
the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever. That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Did we all miss the part where he Hulk raged out?
Young lady? As old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. I, too, was quite the prime stud back in my day, as you can tell by my
Bone.
glorious pompadour. They called me the Great Stallion, Winston Payne. Anyway,
Mustang.
nevertheless, they would also call me the Steel Samurai, if you catch my drift. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please, tell us the truth. That is all.
But I would never.
That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor.
Don't get in the way of my fucking work.
I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies.
You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey. Mia's like, what the f?
Oh,
What, are you two acquainted?
yes. We've met before. Once.
In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madam Fey.
Madam, I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Mr. Wright, is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building?
Can we talk about how Mia apparently went from like, hold on, do we even have a profile? But like, can we talk about how Mia went from like normal woman to MILF in like 2 years? What happened, Mia?
I know. The law did things to her.
The law gave her the booba. Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese senryu poetry.
Oh, how wonderful. It's that humorous, yet satirical style of haiku, yes?
Nothing left to do. When a man reaches this age, sleep is his best friend.
That means he dies.
That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis.
For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through that back area.
Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors.
2 years changed everyone greatly except for the judge. Yeah, I mean when you're at that age, like you're so stable, right? Like 2 years won't do anything to you.
How else would you enter? Teleportation?
I've mastered my quick splash step. Watch this. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Oh my god, Judge.
Shumpo technique.
So who is this Dougie person?
Oh, I'm sorry. Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago.
So what were Dougie, I'm Mr. Swallow, and Mr. Wright talking about anyway?
How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined.
That's right, Miss Fey.
Don't drag the witness down to your level. Why am I being demonized here? Please go on. What did you see next? Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie.
If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me.
Rukia could have used Phoenix/Amita to find her during the trial. God, I would so watch that. Objection, Your Honor!
So what should I do about her testimony just now? I suppose her statement works in our favor, for now.
You're right, Ison. It would have to be Mia. She literally dies.
I'll hold off on looking into it any deeper until it's necessary. Very well, young lady. Please go on with your testimony. And what did Mr. Wright say when he saw you?
I'm sorry, I was so flustered that I really don't remember. Please forgive me.
You don't remember? Well, that's common enough. Sometimes I can't recall a sentence I passed only minutes prior. Please, someone, anyone, stop him before he gets hurt. By me.
By these iron fists of justice.
Grossberg knows what's up.
Right? He's like, oh, my sternum.
When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department?
Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Drugs.
Please try to stay on topic. So to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct?
That's what I was planning to do, but in the end I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on.
The students knew what was going on? But how could the students have known what was going on?
Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just they all seemed kind of excited about something.
Doesn't look like I'm going to get any more info about the students.
So did the students call the police?
Yes. I was so panicked.
Yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear. That girl. She's telling a super obvious lie, and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's got to be it. Way to go, Mia. Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. People lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we?
What? I would never.
Miss Faye, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting. Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
You see her hands?
You see these iron fists of justice?
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim.
What?
There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere.
Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
Nuh-uh. You didn't see it.
Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground.
And at that time, there were only the two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow.
Yes, that's right.
So then, what did it look like they were doing to you?
I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation.
Oh, give me a break.
That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony.
When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department?
Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs.
Oh. Please try to stay on topic. So to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct?
That's what I was planning to do, but in the end I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on.
Students knew what was going on? But how could the students have known what was going on?
Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just they all seemed kind of excited about something.
Doesn't look like I'm going to get any more details. Blah. You say you didn't hear anything unusual. Is that correct?
Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. Oh, she doing her hair flick.
That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise.
He said that?
If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well?
Yeah, get him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable.
But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression.
Ah!
May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up. It seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. The sky continued to flash and rumble.
Thunder and lightning, huh?
Very, very frightening. Yes. I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out.
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all.
Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. Your Honor, there's a problem with the witness's testimony.
Oh no, she has her AirPods and she can't hear.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere. Am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Faye.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
What the heck?
I mean, I guess.
I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy? Anyway, listen, Mia, that was really out there, alright?
No thoughts, head empty. I mean, he was using an umbrella.
This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt.
This is a choice to pursue this as your line of defense.
All right.
Is she really gonna try to
Yeah,
prove
she's
that?
gonna do that.
It appears the defense may be onto something.
Did the judge really just believe that?
Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
All right, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you don't.
I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location. At Aurora Borealis?
What?
What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne. Well, what is this evidence?
This affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. It seems they were flying kites with keys attached to them outside of the windows. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
What is it, a blackout?
All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable.
Oh, there goes Mr.
Yeah.
Payne at it again.
Yeah.
According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
Student testimony added to the court record.
That's really dangerous.
So that is super dangerous, but I mean, I can't say anything living in California, a state that is perpetually under the thumb of PG&E.
However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Faye?
Welcome to Sacramento. You have PG and alternatives. Sad. If he knew this, how did he not know what the murder weapon was earlier? I think he was just playing.
Do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor. I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what is it that caused the cable to break.
Found broken in an electrical pole at the crime scene. I guess we could, I mean, I can't think of anything that's not, like, just the umbrella, so...
Yeah, that's the only thing, too, I think.
Take that!
This is it. This is why the cable snapped.
Well, Your Honor?
I believe. Oh
Jesus.
no. I believe that the only thing that has snapped is the mind of the defense.
That was one of your best lines yet, Your Honor.
Ouch. That was harsh. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance. Well, then let's hear it. What is it then? Him being
Guess we
shoved?
I guess we could just present people until we.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Not quite. Not quite.
Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony.
Yes, it's the defendant's fault. Wait, shit.
The defendant's testimony? He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that? The lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage.
Doesn't that mean he's totally guilty?
Bro, what is she saying though? Like,
Yes, the prosecution has also came to the same conclusion. And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted to death.
I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no. It doesn't make any sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by this severed cable in the foreground here.
Ah!
In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Wait, that makes sense.
Order! Order in the court! Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them.
You're about to catch these hands, Winston Payne.
It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have...
Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? Madam Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them.
What?
What the?
What the? Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Of course it's all right. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors.
The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice. First time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him, but Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind, the cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute.
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that is when the defendant blood raged out and pushed him in.
I'm so sorry, Feeny. I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Look at these butterflies. They're just wigging out.
Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony, you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie.
No. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeny.
So that's why you basically lied in court?
I was a bad girl, I know. Mr. Judge,
Yes?
would you please forgive little old me?
Of course he won't. What you did is called perjury.
Oh, come now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, all right?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all.
The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl.
Miss Fay, look, it says that a Nigerian prince is going to offer me money. Beware, Your Honor, achievement unlocked.
I just give them all of my credit card information and my social security.
You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole.
I know he doesn't look it, but Feeny can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Look at his muscular form, his beefy forearms.
Oh, really?
But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
No one would ever trust Mr. Phoenix, right?
So let me get this straight. You are happily listening to music on your headphones while you watch the scene unfold?
Miss Fay, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness.
I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on.
Cheer them on? What do you mean by that?
Well, you see, I was chanting, fight, fight, fight. Well, I wish the best for them both, and that they would.
Oh my god, she did.
Each give the fight.
She really did.
Fight, 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 fight.
That's very sweet of you to be so supportive.
And what happened after that?
Fight.
That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket?
Well, no, they weren't.
Madam Fay, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully?
Hmm?
I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeny wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? I mean, to be fair, we have seen Phoenix Wright break down a door on at
He
least
did.
one occasion. So
It was
You know
one of
what?
those thick lock doors.
you know what? I believe it. I believe. In fact, he's guilty.
He has broad shoulders.
True. He's got them yowie shoulders.
He's got them yowie. Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted?
I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away.
That's understandable.
Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold.
If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lie, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia.
Thank me a Dirk.
Dirk. That's enough witness.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture?
It was Phoenix's post-time skip strength buff. All his legal training made him swole. Yeah, he was just bench pressing the court documents as he was reading them. Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye?
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping?
Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Oh, no!
Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Yo.
Yeah.
10 minutes is exactly enough time to kill somebody. I know.
Order in the court.
This is nonsense. The real murderer? Who do you think you are, Phoenix, right?
Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for.
And who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it?
You can only get an innocent verdict if you prove someone else guilty.
Yup.
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow.
You know what? All we've learned today is that Phoenix Wright had to get it from somewhere.
Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer?
Miss Faye.
10 minutes. It's the magic murder number. It really is.
Is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer?
There's just a formal court process for this because it happens so often.
It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready.
Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. Now then, Miss Faye, let's have it. Who is the real killer?
Bah!
Shabam! It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne.
How can you...
The defense is grasping at straws.
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them all both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you.
That's true. That's fucked up, man.
Order, order, Miss Faye. What? I mean, why? That is to say...
Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene. It was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands.
How can you say something so mean, Madam Faye? I didn't do anything.
Miss Faye, this is a very serious charge. You are... Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. Achoo. You, what is it?
You're not a lawyer yet.
Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record.
What the? Are you daft?
You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she could do something like that.
Is that dude just trying to get himself guilty?
Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Leave my Dolly alone.
You'll never take me alive! Achoo! That boy.
He's gotten himself in way over his head.
Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back.
It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping.
Police report added to the court record.
Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
Now let's see, what's inside this whole thing? District Courthouse Cafeteria, date August 27th, 4 p.m. Victim, Diego Armando, age 28. Occupation lawyer. Suspect, Dahlia Hawthorne, age 19. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup.
You'd better take a good look at it. It, details how you came to lose your boyfriend.
Oh. Oh. Oh no.
Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor, May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor?
Don't you worry, my dear. I have this situation well in hand. That is a...
Go right ahead. Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? He taught me how
Yes.
to Dougie.
I am.
It's the one joke. We have the one joke.
Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright.
I told you that you should let me handle this.
Sorry, please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear.
Oh, I believe that girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be.
The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Further testimony? What about?
About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What could that possibly have to do with this case?
The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, then I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason.
Very well then, the court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge.
Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Fucking bring it!
What?
How I Met My Feeny. I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day.
We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. Like me. It's just jealousy, I think.
Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of court.
And now we enter the final act of our little drama.
As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her!
Wow, thanks.
Thanks,
Nice,
man.
Mr. Grossberg.
We needed that.
It was very helpful.
So, until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow?
Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. My emotions change so quickly. I'm ashamed of myself.
No, not at all. Look at me. I'm infamous for changing my mind.
Oh my god, he's aware of it.
My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle.
Maybe you should look for a different line of work.
Despite that, however, he always hands down a correct verdict. I think
As far as you know.
that's why some people also call him the Great Judgini.
The courthouse reading room? That's a strange place to meet the love of your life.
That's not true, Madam Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne.
Took psychic damage from Judgini.
I am the great Judgini.
What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room?
This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you. If this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case.
I have to remember that the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony.
Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases, Your Honor, the answer is simply this. I'd come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing.
You were writing a paper? On what?
On the relationship between modern Senryu poetry and the criminal underworld.
Oh, that sounds like a fascinating research idea.
Am I getting old? Now I've even forgotten what I've forgotten.
Again, with the midlife crisis stuff?
You just hear it in Kiryu's voice. Am I getting old? I have forgotten what I've forgotten.
Mia, why did that girl really come to this courthouse? Isn't that what you wanted to know? Speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you? I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear, so you should have read it carefully.
Enough, Mr. Grossberg, chill out.
Thank you, Mr. Tutorial.
Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
What What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye?
8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy.
Another tragedy?
Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned?
The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne.
What?
Dahlia Hawthorne.
Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago.
Yo, what? She a serial murderer?
Order, order, order! This is unbelievable. It's true then. The loveliest rose can...
Miss Faye, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it.
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Expressed some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
I see.
Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive.
Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart and my butt.
Alright.
I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids.
Oh my god.
This man needs help.
Leave it alone, sir.
I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. I heard it was a liquid poison that was lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that.
So that's what happened here 8 months ago.
However, as you've heard from the witness's testimony, she has nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. But I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination.
Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? What?
Aha, Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. You're about to go Super Saiyan. That proud posture, self-confidence, absolutely smashing.
That's not his hemorrhoids talking.
Yep.
No, this is number 4. What were you talking about with the defense attorney?
Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential.
According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case.
The lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger.
Why don't you tell us all what that incident was?
That has absolutely nothing at all to do with this case.
Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record.
You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne?
Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign.
Don't worry, Dolly. I'll protect you. You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady.
Oh, Feeny, please.
Those two really are making me ill, albeit for decidedly different reasons. How long were you gone?
I've already answered all those questions for the police. If you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes. Murder number!
Oh! And where were you during that stretch of time? Using the toilet?
What are you saying, Miss Faye? toilet? My perfect little dolly doesn't poop! I was thinking he was gonna say that, but I didn't think that he would actually say it. You heard the defendant, Miss Faye. Better luck next time.
Oh, please.
The police have already looked into this whole matter. This line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time.
Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with your testimony.
Time for not just one, but two murder.
2-for-1 special. About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons?
Wow, now that is a Phoenix Wright ass question.
Wait, what do you mean, Mia? Is Dolly secretly an idol? Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drops says it's 1/2 fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons. So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh?
Poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I had left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there.
A special kind of poison? How so?
I heard that it's almost impossible to detect.
Oh? And where would something like that come from?
I'm sorry. All I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. Is it something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it?
Chemical processes? Well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive. The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that? And that's the reason they didn't arrest you? Because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison?
I think that's a good enough reason, Madam Faye.
She's right, and I think we've all had enough of Miss Faye's questions.
So, in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime is because no one could have shown how she could have attempted to poison.
Then all we have to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? Great. Now just how did a literature student get a hold of poison of all things?
Well, I mean, you'd have to be dating some kind of pharmacology major.
You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you.
What?
In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University.
Pharmacology?
His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was this one sitting at his very table. You.
No. Wow, that's sus as fuck.
Pretty big sus.
Bro, did
Order.
she kill her boyfriend? To silence him?
I trust. Order. Could it be?
That's nothing but baseless.
May I say something, Madam Faye?
What is it, Miss Hawthorne?
The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite. I was searched.
Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down.
They didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they?
she's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small.
Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof.
Proof? She got me good with that.
Was up early enough for 3 months? Well, welcome.
Provide some evidence, or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye.
Unless we can come up with some evidence, I'm going to lose this lead.
The police conducted a full-body search of Dahlia and of the entire courthouse. And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred.
If you're going to accuse this young lady of committing the murder, then where is the container of the poison was carried in? What happened to it?
Proof in a tribunal? More likely than you may think.
You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched.
Who is this person?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course.
So the defendant was this witness's accomplice?
Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present.
What? That's...
That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye?
The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here?
Ew, I touched it with my hands!
Oh God, it's over.
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount.
Dude.
Order in the court. Oh. On behalf of Dolly, I object.
Mr. Wright, control yourself.
I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat.
Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her?
Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway?
Oh my god! Holy shit!
Someone was gonna say it. It had to be his own defense attorney.
Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too.
Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. Look in the mirror.
Look at yourself.
At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is... Dahlia Hawthorne was not, and is not, madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck.
My necklace?
Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself.
Yeah, but she's so shy.
Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me.
Please give it back.
Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
It's like there's a deadly poison in there or something.
For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying! But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you. No! That's a lie!
Is that man crying? Holy shit! Finny's getting away. Bailiff, hurry after him. Tackle that man.
Mia, are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
That boy, he went completely insane. He went apeshit. Holy fuck!
Oh my God.
I've never seen a college student so scrawny fend off so many bailiffs before.
He made quick work with him like it was like a Yakuza game. Oh my god, he went completely nuts. So he went fucking Dynasty Warriors on those suckers.
Where's Mr. Right?
It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough. My goodness, I've never seen anything quite like that.
Thank goodness. Oh no.
What is it?
The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone.
What? That's terrible.
Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now?
Oh. Maybe he and Yagami should team up.
Right?
Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court.
Don't worry, you're gonna say that a lot. In
And
the
yet
coming
you
future.
became a defense attorney.
Just imagine the chaos.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm afraid that your apology is not enough.
Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace?
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just give back the necklace. I ate it. You what?
You ate it?
It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first. But yeah. Wait! How?
What?
What is he doing now?
Is that man crying? Wait, how did he eat the necklace?
Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it.
Yeah, listen, this is Phoenix Wright's superhero origin story.
Oh my God.
He was always a strong boy.
It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison.
How can you be so sure?
I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it would seem.
No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency.
There. It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do, and it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Right. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong.
That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
But why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand. But in a court of law, evidence is everything.
Even after I proved so much, is she going to get away with everything?
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial.
Mr. Wright!
I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down.
Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say?
Oh, there's something I forgot to tell you.
What is it?
That day, the day I bet Doug Swallow.
That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore.
Hey, it's none of your business.
I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news.
You're lying.
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab.
Poison?
Same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. Could only have been her. That girl's a thief.
Stop it. Don't talk about her like that.
Is it true? Did he really say that?
That's ridiculous.
There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him.
What?
She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly.
Your Honor, this is the defendant is...
Miss Faye, you tell them.
Phoenix done objection hand to people.
Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent.
Bruh.
Bruh.
So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow.
The night before?
Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone.
Miss Faye, if you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this.
Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now.
Well, you know what that means. Time to drop a save.
There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore,
Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill?
there was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me?
That's preposterous! After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered.
Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be.
But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love.
Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him.
Like the poison sitting in his stomach
I
right
know.
now.
From the chewed up necklace. Oh my god. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice. I swear it.
I hope that
As I said before.
that necklace was made of plastic. Dear God, man.
The only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about.
But even so, why? Why would she go so far as to murder him?
8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing: how to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible.
No, it can't be.
It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met.
You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright?
Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence.
That can't be true!
Cry again.
He cried many times during this case.
Teeny. What a joke
Oh.
you are.
Oh!
Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne?
It appears that we're nearing the end of this trial.
Fine. I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say.
You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne.
Miss Hawthorne, you poisoned at least one man.
Yeah, you
I'll
electrocuted
see
another
about
man.
that. But first, there's your evidence. It seems that your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack.
Well,
Hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you?
Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge?
these butterflies.
I feel very conflicted now. With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now if you don't mind.
But we're not finished.
Fine, then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already.
I can't let her get away with this time.
Get the fuck back on that witness stand.
Stop, Mia! If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. Being forced to present evidence.
Oh! The ultimate price.
You would be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. I don't think that's how that works.
It's not.
No.
You better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say Miss Gray?
Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all?
If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over.
You know what that means?
Woo! But to be honest, at this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof.
Impossible! You can't possibly!
Stupid woman.
It is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one. If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright.
Straight to the guillotine!
So says the great Judgini. I understand, Your Honor.
I can just imagine the headline for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar.
He was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Well then, Miss Fay, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine.
Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold?
If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X.
Damn.
Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some.
Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine.
I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? Huh? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room, my client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow.
Damn, homie. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fools, are you? Stupid woman. She's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation.
I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right?
It's true. He ate an entire fucking necklace.
Oh my god. Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now.
Mia Fey.
Oh,
Do
the butterflies!
you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey?
That's just fine. For the time being. Victory is yours.
For the time being.
Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge. I'll see you later too, okay?
Huh? Why? Yes.
I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best.
It's finally all over.
I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim.
Even so, your witness seems to have accepted it.
I don't care. I'm Winston Payne. And I don't believe one word this rookie lawyer has said.
Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine?
What?
Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said.
There. It's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right?
You see,
And here comes the back paddle. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life?
punk.
You getting wrecked.
No! My hair is flying off my beautiful hair! No! My beautiful pompadour!
She didn't even have to lay hands.
Mr. Payne? About Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Mr. Payne, what are you doing? Get back to your desk.
No, my pompadour. It flew away. I have to go get it.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. These judge eyes.
They don't call me the Great Genie for nothing.
Don't lie. Just admit you were wrong.
By the way, Miss Fay,
Yes, Your Honor.
was it just me? Or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other?
Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case.
Oh, very well. Mr. Payne,
This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my fucking daughter. Jesus.
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be, my dear Dolly! Very well then. I believe I am ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Woo! This court is adjourned.
I never want to see any of you ever again!
Especially you, Phoenix Wright.
April 11, 3:16 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
Mia, you were wonderful in there.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius.
Mr. Grossberg, do you, maybe think you could stop talking about them?
And maybe go to a doctor?
That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client?
That is why he's called Grossberg.
Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Maybe that's why the conviction rate in this country is 99%.
Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking. Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I know could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little.
Stop wearing that sweater.
Stop eating necklaces.
Yeah.
But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Eek, what kind of company does this guy keep?
Visions of Larry Butts.
Right. Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself, but only like part-time though. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. Leave it. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. I see.
Imagine being Phoenix having to explain it to everyone he knows later. Yeah, I would say you guys that story about when I ate a necklace. Oh boy, that was fucking wild.
Say, Miss Faye, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself, but I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. Full time.
Why did you break up with your girlfriend? Well, you see, she tried to frame me for murder after trying to kill me.
I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court.
Wow, look at that dorko.
Oh dear. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But It also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again.
Boy, I sure have been suppressing a lot.
Right? Mia's gone now.
How long was it between this and Phoenix's first case? About 2 years.
But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. Down. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day.
Turnabout Memories. The end.
The man.
Who is that man? How does he look so cool? Okay. Well, thanks for coming out. That is where we will end it for this week. We'll be back in 2 weeks because I will not be here next week.
Oh.
So join us in 2 weeks for the second case of the third game of Ace Attorney.
That'll be hype.
It'll be hype because Renu won't have to voice every character now.
Hype! I'll just voice the main boy and then
You'll voice
the other
main
characters
boy.
that I've been voicing.
Yep, and then I'll pick up as much slack as possible. I'll pick up like every other character.
Oh!
No, I won't do that. I will not be doing that.
Oh!
All right. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it was fun.
Glad you got to see it for once, Trist.
Yeah.
All right. We will see you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.